Yes, Kingdom fans, we are back from that torturous break, and this arc just keeps getting better and better by not even the chapter but by the page, which is reaching new heights of brilliance. Yasuhi Sahara is showing us characters reaching new heights and how far they have come, while simultaneously torturing us, leaving us craving just more, and once again leaving us on the edge of our seats with another cliffhanger. But as always guys, before we go any further, if you enjoy this video and seeing plenty of Kingdom content, be sure to smash that like button down below and click that subscribe button with the notification bell so you can stay up to date with the channel, because I know you are not going to want to miss out on a single moment in this arc. Now in this chapter there are 5 things that need to be discussed, and what is most important by far is the matchup we are now seeing. And yes, it is exactly what we wanted and predicted. This battle is officially General Ri Shin versus Zhao Great Heaven Rioku, the most dangerous man in all of China. I want to talk about in depth this matchup, but I'm just too pumped up about it to even actually put words together. It's that ridiculous. We all know this is something that has been in the making for over a decade now, and there is too many ways to list on how we want it to go down. So let's just let Yasuhi Sahara cook and see where he takes things. Now, next thing on this list, honestly, some may consider the least important thing in this chapter, but I think it really deserves recognition. And of course, I am talking about seeing the growth of the Ri Shin unit soldiers into leadership roles within the army. Before we even see Shin in this monumental standoff, we first see Bihei raising the morale of his soldiers before the battle, which is something we have never seen before. And yes, of course, I gotta give a shout out to Ko and Kanto. Also, they both have grown so much. Sure, Ko had a slow rise and Kanto, all things considered, had a very fast rise up the ranks, but nonetheless, they stand firm in belief of not just themselves, but also their units. Seeing how they seem to rile each other up more than the other unit, it even makes the Ri Shin unit veterans smirk, reminding them of how they were back when they were at that rank, always competing with one another. It really just shows how far they have all come, and I can't help but smile by the sight of this. Though seeing as how Hara seems to be giving special attention to Bihei in the last few arcs and chapters, with him getting married, having a son, etc., I can't help but think that Hara is seriously setting up Bihei to die in this war. I mean, if you want to find a way to make Shin lose his focus in this fight, then killing his oldest friend is definitely the way to go about it. Now, the oddest part about this chapter has got to be the actual proximity of the armies to one another, because if you look at the map given to us at the end of chapter 852, we see all the units spread out over the entire Qinzhou border. But looking at this layout that we're given in this chapter, we see that Chokotsu is actually just parallel to Shin instead of on a separate battlefield. So we were wrong in our thinking that Yoko would have his own battlefield in this war. This battle will not be as spread out as we thought. It will be a smaller battlefield, and what comes to my mind is the Battle of Beiyu, where Rioku was first introduced to the series. The only thing separating the 3 armies really was a few bushes and some hills, or at least it'll be very similar to it. And I know this isn't actually that important of a detail, but at the same time there is a part of me that is disappointed, I won't lie to you. But also this just enhances my belief that Shin will actually be the one to take down Chukotsu with a one-shot hit using Wuki's glaive, the same way Wuki did to his father all those years before. Not only reminding us that Shin inherited his will of fire, but also that he is worthy to have inherited it, which is still something Shin has to achieve. And yes, I know I will annoy people saying that, and yes, Shin has proved himself time and time again, but to truly show that he is worthy, he has to defeat the man that defeated Wuki, which was Rioku. And I know plenty will argue that it was actually Huken that defeated Wuki, but if it wasn't for Rioku's plan, then it never would have even happened, and that is an undeniable fact. Now, my favourite part of this chapter by far is seeing Shin and Rioku give their speeches to their armies. Look and see how Shin speaks to his men. There is no point in fussing or complaining now. We will fight until we win, just as we always do. Maybe you won't notice me in the battlefield, and maybe my voice won't reach you. If you face that situation, find the Ri Shin banner. Find it, Study it and you will find what you are missing in its symbols. You will find the Ri Shin spirit and my dream inside it. Dude, really? I mean, come on. Shin is reaching the heart and souls of each and every single one of his soldiers, and I am not afraid to admit this. When I first read it, I was nearly brought to tears. This was absolutely beautiful. I know Shin wants to be a hybrid general of Ryukyu and Wookiee, but this speech is a Mogu style speech, and holy crap did it work perfectly. It was so inspiring. The ground itself was shaking from the roars of his army. These cheers were so loud they could have been measured on a Richter scale. And yes, it left the likes of Kario 10 and Lieutenant N speechless and in awe, but Shin's face was so serious and so calm. It's like he doesn't even hear the cheers. Bro is so focused on Rioku, it's mad. Also, I couldn't help but be reminded of in Naruto when he shared his chakra with an entire army of people. Shin is basically doing the exact same thing, let's be honest about it. Even Fute admits that speech was beautiful, saying that Shin has mastered the art of fanning his soldiers' fire. I know the panel says flaming the fire, but fanning seems more appropriate. I'm presuming that's probably a misprint. Also, even Kaine's subordinates admit the Ri Shin morale has reached the heavens, as in it could not be any higher. And now I genuinely love what happens next. It's actually so funny. Fute is basically like, alright, I suppose I should give a speech to counter the kin noise, and just as he gets ready to give it, Rioku pops up out of nowhere. Even Kaine was surprised. She had no idea where he was. Supposedly, Rioku plans to float between the battlefields for this campaign, and we will come back to that, but Rioku seems to be very aggressive in this speech. He usually appeals to the hearts of the people, to their love of their families, to the love of their country, but now he simply resorts to calling the kin forces barbarians, that they have poisonous fangs, showing them to be type of wild beasts, and telling his forces that they need to completely eradicate them. Which is true, but at the same time, this is very unlike Rioku. But I suppose I could just be overthinking things. He's taking a different approach to this. And honestly, I'm just looking at the morale of both armies after both their speeches, and I have to say the Ri Shin's morale is still way higher, in my opinion. At least that's the vibe I got. And now we come back to the point of Rioku floating between battlefields for this campaign. So while not an awful idea, some may say brilliant in theory, this could also be the thing that screws over the Zhao forces in the long term. So Fute says that Rioku came to this battlefield because it is the most important battlefield in the whole invasion. And seeing as how Shin intends to go all out from the very start, you just know there is going to be plenty of bloodshed in this first day. And then supposedly Rioku is going to leave for another battlefield. That's a very, very good way to get your army's troops' morale to plummet to absolute zero. Imagine this, hearing your supreme commander left to go somewhere else. If I heard that, I would just automatically think that something bad has happened on a different battlefield. Something so bad that Rioku himself had to go there to fix the problem. Rumors like that spread like wildfire, so I'm hoping that Shin will be causing so much trouble for the Zhao forces that Rioku will have no choice but to stay where he is and make this a true Shin versus Rioku battlefield. And while I am wishing to see the next chapter being a continuing of this chapter's cliffhanger where we can see the Kin Zhao first clash, knowing Hara, I'm willing to bet the next chapter we'll be seeing every battlefield but this one, and we will basically be seeing their first clashes, and he won't be going too heavy into any battle in particular. He'll just be giving us like 1 page or 2 pages for each battlefield. Also, given Hara's routine in big battles like these, we'll probably also see other nations' military commanders discussing the war and how it will go, or maybe we see that after the first day. Regardless though, we know that whatever we see next, it's gonna be beyond great. And so Kingdom fans, I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say for chapter 853 right now. And remember, if you enjoyed this video and seeing Kingdom content, then remember to smash that like button down below, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell, and drop a comment because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts.